You know, I tend to kind of take things out on Phil Spencer quite a bit because he seems like he does say one thing and kind of do the other thing. You know, and with that being said, I think that Phil is a decent guy. I just
این بشر عالیه به سرکارش. سلام بچه‌ها، چطورین؟ چه خبر؟ چیکار میکنید؟ در چه حالین؟ امیدوارم هر کجا که هستین مثل همیشه روز و شب خیلی خفن و توپی و سپری کرده باشین و حالتون هم عالی باشه. من دیوان هستم و خیلی خوش اومدین به یه ویدیو دیگه از چنل من. توی این ویدیو قراره بریم سراغ یکی دیگه از ویدیوهای چنل کرپ گیمر ریویو و قراره که واسمون در مورد اخبار ایکس باکس صحبت بکنه. بریم تو کارش رو ببینیم که داستان چیه.
He's probably in over his head with a lot of stuff, but he did come out and say some very interesting things regarding Xbox and it's
مثل اینکه آقای فیل اسپنسر بچه‌ها اخبار جالبی واسه طرفدارای ایکس باکس داره.
Sounds pretty good if we kind of get into it, you know, and I thought that this was just the perfect idea to kind of talk about this kind of stuff because, you know, again, everybody thinks that I'm just down on Xbox.
آره خیلی ها فکر میکنن که بچه‌ها این کرپ گیمر دشمن ایکس باکسه و میخواد که ایکس باکس رو بکوبه، ولی خب در واقع قبل از سال 2018 فنبوی ایکس باکس بوده و الان در حال حاضر ایکس باکس داره بازی میکنه.
I play Xbox, man. I want Xbox to be great.
آره میخواد که ایکس باکس عالی باشه.
That's probably the biggest discourse between me and Xbox is I want Xbox to be great and Xbox disagrees.
میگه که من میخوام ایکس باکس عالی باشه ولی خب ایکس باکس مخالفت میکنه.
You know, it wants to be mid.
میخواد حد وسط باشه، مدیوم.
And I think that it takes more than just powerful hardware. Obviously it takes the games and stuff like that, but you know, we'll see how that works out. But let's go ahead and get started.
میگه که حالا این داستانی که چطوری باید باشه بیشتر از اون قضیه قدرتمند بودن کنسوله و این گیما هم توی داستان هستن.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, Crap Gaming, back with another video. Thank you guys so much for checking it out. I really do appreciate it. If you guys wouldn't mind doing me one solid, slap that like button. We're gonna go ahead and get started. We're gonna have some fun. If you wouldn't mind slapping that like button, you faces and all you babies, go ahead, slap it hard.
اوکی بفرمایید. یه بار دیگه هم واسط میزنم. دمت گرم، خسته نباشی. اینم از این.
Slap it once, slap it twice, slap it 3 times a lady. Yes, me, Crap Gaming. Thank you. So anyway, Phil Spencer dropped some very interesting news. This really gets me excited.
خب مثل اینکه هیجان زده است واسه این اخبار.
I hope that this comes sooner rather than later.
و امیدوارم که به زودی اتفاق بیفته.
One of the main reasons why I bought an Xbox One. I know some of you guys probably don't know this story.
خب یکی از دلایلی که ایکس باکس خریده.
But I wasn't all into. I mean, I went to forums and stuff like that, but I wasn't like super on like social media or gaming forums and stuff like that. So I wasn't really super aware of, you know, the hatred that there was for the Xbox One, you know, when they announced it. You know, I really was excited for Xbox One when they announced Killer Instinct.
گرفتم. خب میگه حالا خیلی من چیز نبودم، هایپ نبودم مثل این که و این تو این داستان سوشال مدیا این چیزا هم نبوده و اینا زمانی که بازی کیلر اینستینکت رو عرضه کردن خیلی هیجان زده شده و به طرفدار کیلر اینستینکت هم هست. من اون بازی بچه‌ها تجربه نکردم، اصلا هیچی هم ازش نمیدونم که چیه، فقط میدونم یه بازی فایتینگه. اگه شما تجربهش کردین حتما برام تو بخش کامنت ها بنویسید و بگید که بازیش چطور بوده.
I have been completely bummed that they haven't announced a follow-up. It seemed like that did incredibly well. And Phil Spencer actually talked about a sequel to that, and it gives us at least somewhat kind of hope. And here's what he said.
یه امیدی ایجاد کرده آقای فیل اسپنسر.
Xbox head Phil Spencer has reassured fans that he's keen on doing something with the Killer Instinct franchise.
یه خبرایی مثل این که اون پشت هست بچه‌ها.
For quite some time, there have been several rumors going around about Microsoft eventually wanting to release a new Killer Instinct.
یه سری شایعات هست از نسخه جدید این بازی.
On Xbox. And on yesterday, there was a podcast that he was part of. The head of Xbox said the franchise surely hasn't been forgotten about and abandoned. On the contrary, he and Microsoft Studios head Matt Booty have been talking about the series quite often. And he says, and I quote,
خب داره نقل قول میکنه بچه‌ها.
There are so many good games in our back catalog.
گیم‌های فوق‌العاده‌ای پشت سر ما هستن. اوکی. پس ایکس باکس برنامه‌اش اینه که یه دستی به اون انباری بزنه و اون گیم‌های خفنشو بیاره بالا.
The response when we redid Killer Instinct at the launch of the Xbox One was fantastic.
لانچ فوق‌العاده‌ای داشته. خب
He also added, I will say Matt Booty and I have discussed many times Killer Instinct.
در موردش خیلی با هم دیگه تا الان صحبت کردن.
We'd like to go with it. And it's not out of our minds that it might be out of our minds, but it's in our hearts and in our minds that we want to continue to do something with KI.
خب یه برنامه‌ای دارن دوست دارن که ادامه بدن.
With recent rumors, Spencer said that it's a matter of finding the right opportunity and getting a fitting development team.
خب یه فرصت مناسب و داشتن یه تیم توسعه مناسب و بعدش استارت کارو میزنن.
It's about finding the right team and the right opportunity, but it is not due to any kind of lack of desire on our part that we're not doing more with the KI because we love the franchise and the community response.
از این عکسش به نظر میاد که یه بازی فایتینگ تو سبک بازی‌های مورتال کامبت.
Additionally, as you guys might know, Double Helix Games, who is now part of Amazon Game Studios, did the third installment in the Killer Instinct franchise when it was released as a free-to-play launch title for Xbox One back in 2013. The original developer Rare also has been involved with the reboot. Two additional seasons developed by
خب توسعه دهنده‌های اصلیش ریر بودن.
Iron Galaxy were released between 2014 and 2016. Iron Galaxy also ported the game to PC.
آیرون گالاکسی هم 2016 پورت کرده بازی واسه پی سی.
2016. So
گفت 2013 مثل اینکه فری تو پلی بوده.
my favorite fighting franchise. I know that's going to sound weird.
پشمام بازی بچه‌ها فایتینگ مورد علاقهش بکنم همینه.
He just expects me to hate on Xbox 24/7, but no.
چه حرف جالبی زد. آخه همیشه به این بنده خدا میگن که تو با ایکس باکس مشکل داری و به این حرفش با اوناست. میگه که شما همیشه میگید که خب 24 ساعت 7 روز هفته من دارم از ایکس باکس بد میگم و بازی فایتینگ مورد علاقهش کیلر اینستینکت ایکس باکسه. میخوام دوباره ببینمش که برگرده.
It really kind of annoys me that we haven't seen anything about it, even though Maximilian, who's like a huge
خیلی عجیبه که خب میگه تا الان هیچ چی ازش ندیدیم.
fighting game aficionado on YouTube had it trending. There was tournaments and all this kind of stuff. We got no response from anybody about it. So yeah, very interesting that game.
این همه مدت میگه این همه اتفاق افتاده و هیچ جوابی ما از این بازی نگرفتیم. هیچ اتفاق خاصی نیفتاد.
And you know what? Listen, it probably they could do it the way that they did it and just in installments, and I think it'd be fine. I would absolutely love that. I just think that it really comes down to them wanting to do it. Like they have all these studios. Why not just partner with the studio and get it done? Like get it done.
Get it done. آره. Come on, فیلی اسپنسر. آره. میدون مسابقه رو پر بازی کن فیلی.
Walk the walk. The other
زیاد صحبت نکن.
was he actually talked about quite a few things. This was very interesting because again, it's actually something that I'm looking forward to from the Xbox side of things, which is Fable.
Oh, Fable.
And he gave a little bit of an update on
خب مثل اینکه یه آپدیتی هم از تیم توسعه بازی و
we haven't seen anything
چیزاش داده
entry of the Fable series in development by Playground Games, but
توسط Playground.
It seems like players shouldn't be too worried about it.
خب پلیرها نباید نگرانش باشن مثل اینکه مراحل توسعهش داره خوب جلو میره.
Episode of the podcast that he joined, Xbox head Phil Spencer briefly commented on the game, saying that fans of the series should take confidence from Playground's work on the Forza Horizon series. He says, and I quote, "The only thing I can really say about Fable is seeing the pedigree of the team and Playground and where they set the bar for themselves in building a game. I think that showed with Forza Horizon 5 preview that they had. I think people should just take confidence in that studio director, Gavin, and the team that have been on the same level of focus on doing something amazing with an IP that we know is really important to a lot of Xbox fans. So we can't wait to show you more, but the team is just amazing. Now, obviously, Forza Horizon 5 was among the best-looking games shown this year at Microsoft.
آره تو این که خب شکی نیست اینکه فورزا هورایزن 5 بهترین نمایش ایکس باکس بود شکی توش نیست و در مورد فیبل هم گفت که اوکیه و پلیرها میتونن اعتماد بکنن و یه تیم فوق‌العاده پشتشه.
press conference, so there's no doubt that Fable will look amazing. Well, how will it play? That remains to be seen. Fable will be the next entry in the series since Fable 3, really, and the canceled Fable Legends. Now, Fable 3 came out in 2010.
فیبل 3 در سال 2010 اومد.
Believe it or not, they did the Connect Fable as well, and they also did which had a decent story. They also did like this little arcade Fable game, which was okay. Fable Legends was canceled.
یه نسخه‌ش هم لغو شد، فیبل Legends.
Obviously, and that game was a co-op game that was in development by
Co-op بوده.
Lionhead. Very little is currently known about the upcoming new entry in the series, other than the fact that it'll be powered by Forza Tech Engine, and it may feature some online
توسط فورزا تک انجین داره ساخته میشه.
interactions like co-op and things
یه سری چیزای آنلاین هم هستن که داره کوآپ و این داستانا.
like that. So it's still probably a few years away.
خب آره دیگه یه چند سالی مونده دیگه تا عرضه بازی.
Maybe longer. I mean, we'll have to wait and see how that
امیدوارم حالا امسال یه چیزی ازش نشون بدن.
works out. But yeah, very cool stuff to see that they're at least talking about it.
آره حداقل دارن در موردش حرف میزنن و این خوبه. اینکه میاد حداقل آپدیت میده در مورد بازیایی که داره ساخته میشه، خیلی خوبه.
Kind of getting people on board with, hey, you can trust a developer. Some people are hoping that it goes for a little bit darker tone. I hope that it has that really good that dark humor that Fable was known for, because I think that you can't really get away from that. You really need that, and I hope that they continue to build off that.
میگه اون پتانسیلی که فیبل‌های قبل داشت و باید داشته باشه. نمیتونه از اون دور بشن.
I feel like that game deserves a second chance and is one of my favorite RPGs of all time.
اوه بسر یکی از RPG‌های مورد علاقه‌اش بوده.
So hopefully
خیلی امیدوارم به این بازی و خیلی هم نقطه حساسیه و امیدوارم که یه کار تر و تمیز باشه.
we get that sooner rather than later. That wasn't where the fun stopped. It looks like we're getting some information about Halo as well.
هیلو آره.
Last week at E3, Microsoft provided
هفته پیش توی E3 نمایش داشتیم از هیلو.
a fresh look at Halo Infinite, but it held back on something rather important, a release date.
تاریخ انتشار مهمترین چیز بچه.
While the company says Halo Infinite is coming this holiday season, a specific
آره شایعه است بچه که امسال تعطیلات آخر سال 2021 قرار که بیاد بازیش.
day has yet to be locked
ولی خب هنوز یه روز مشخص براش انتخاب نکردن.
down, and of course, given this game's history, many fans pessimistically assumed the lack of a hard Halo Infinite date meant Microsoft still wasn't confident about its progress, and the game's launch date may slip yet again.
و مثل اینکه راضی نبوده. صبر کن ببینم.
wasn't confident about its progress, and the game's launch date may
اطمینان نداشته از اون پیشروی ساخت بازی. پشمام.
slip yet again.
یعنی ممکنه که امسال هم نیاد. Holy shit.
Well, during a recent appearance on the Drop Frames podcast, Xbox head honcho Phil Spencer made clear that they actually have a fairly narrow launch window in mind for Halo Infinite.
خب خیلی حساسه بچه. یعنی چطوری بگم، هیلو اینفینیت نماینده ایکس باکسه، در این حد مهمه این بازی.
He said, and I quote, "You heard Joseph Staten say this holiday. For us, we know our range in the 3-4 week range, but we don't have the exact day yet. There's some other things with some other game timing that we're trying to look at. We'll have better clarity over the summer. But this isn't a month's thing. This is just down to a few weeks. Instead of picking this date and having to move it by a week, which at this point would feel like a fail, we don't want to do that. Let's wait until we're solid on what the release date is. But the team's very committed to holiday."
خب مثل اینکه تیمشون خیلی امیدواره بچه‌ها به انتشار بازی توی تعطیلات خیلی زمان خوبیه بچه‌ها برای انتشار یه بازی، مخصوصا هیلو، و امیدوارم که یه کار تر و تمیز و خوشگل باشه و عشق کنی از بازی کردنش. و امیدوارم که ساخت یه نسخه فری تو پلی ازش اون تمرکز مورد نیاز رو بر نداشته باشه. یعنی اون تمرکز اصلیشون روی نسخه اصلی و بخش داستانی بازی باشه.
having both quality and getting the game done. So Phil Spencer doesn't really come out and say it, but it does seem like the lack of Halo Infinite release date has more to do with Microsoft wanting to get out of the way of another big game release other than them being unsure whether the game will be done.
کارشون ولی سخت بوده بچه‌ها. اینکه شما تو یه سال بخواید هیلو رو دوباره این همه چیز بکنی، داستان بکنی، ویژوال بازی و طراحی درخت و برگا و نمیدونم گراس بازی رو بخواید عوض بکنی، نور پردازی، سیستم لودینگ و این چیزا رو، از یه طرف یه فری تو پلی هم کنارش داری و تمام امید ایکس باکس به این بازی باشه، نماینده ایکس باکس، خیلی واقعا استرس داره و واقعا هم خب سخته. انتخاب یه روز انتشار برای همچین بازی واقعا سخته و میگم امیدوارم که حالا یه پکیج کامل باشه، همون نسخه آنلاینش خوب باشه، همین اینجوری نباشه که نسخه داستانیش خوب باشه یهو آنلاینش داغون باشه. هر دوتا عالی و قشنگ تو هالیدی بشینی بازی بکنی، تعطیلات کیف بکنی.
Done. And at this point, the only big AAA holiday game release that is yet to lay down a release date is Call of Duty. So if anyone had the game other than them being unsure whether the game will be done, and at this point, the only big AAA holiday game release that is yet to lay down a release date is Call of Duty. So if anyone had to guess, I'd say that's the conflict they're avoiding. You know, they obviously don't want to come out and compete directly with Battlefield or Call of Duty. I feel like that probably wouldn't end well for them. They are doing this Halo game as a free-to-play multiplayer, and again, I'm sure a lot of people expect me to hate, but I'm not going to do that. I think that this is going to be the hugest, largest, spectacular launch of a Halo game that we've ever seen.
بزرگترین و با شکوه ترین لانچ هیلو در کل تاریخ.
And I do think that it's going to do extremely well, especially at launch. So, yeah, you know what? I think that it's going to do extremely well. Now, further on down the line, how will the game do? I think that is where we'll start to see some interesting things come about, right? Like how it's going to be doing, 4, 5, 6 months down the line. That's going to be the big question. Is it going to have enough content for people that far down the line?
آیا محتوا به اندازه کافی خواهد داشت؟
Is it going to please the newcomers?
این خیلی مهمه، خیلی خیلی مهمه. وقتی شما یه بازی فری تو پلی درست میکنی، اینجوری نباشه که بعد 5-6 ماه همه ناامید بشن و بزنن ازش کنار. متاسفانه خیلی از بازی آنلاین هستن که اینجوری میشن و عرضه میشن، یارو 5-6 ماه بازی میکنه و خسته کننده میشه. این که به صورت مداوم محتوا عرضه بکنی و پشتیبانی بکنی ازش، این خیلی مهمه. امیدوارم که یه همچین داستانی پشت این نسخه فری تو پلی آنلاین هیلو هم باشه.
That are just playing because it's free, and is it going to please the longtime Halo fans who are there, just because it's Halo? But are these changes going to be too much for it? I think that's something we're going to have to look at, and we'll see how it works out. I'm excited to see how it does and how it plays, but I'm sure you guys are too. I'm going to link all this stuff. So really good news.
خب مثل همیشه تمام این منابع اطلاعاتش رو هم در زیر ویدیو بچه‌ها لینک میزنه و هیچ وقت از خودش صحبت نمی‌کنه، چرت و پرت نمیگه.
From Xbox today. Really cool stuff. Let me know what you guys think. Slap that like button. Crap Gamer out.
خب بچه‌ها اینم از این ویدیو. امیدوارم که لذت برده باشید. دمتون گرم. مرسی که تماشا کردید. و اینم از رخ چنل ما. بچه‌ها هر از گاهی سر بزنید به ویدیوهای قدیمیمون. بچه‌هایی که تازه با چنل من آشنا میشن معمولاً میان ویدیوهای آخر رو میبینن، یا این مثلا یا این، بعد دیگه اصلا نمیرن پایین ببینن که ما چیکار کردیم. هر از گاهی یه سری به گذشته بزنید. کلی ویدیوی خفن داریم ما تو چنل. تقریبا بچه‌ها تعداد ویدیوی من رسیده به 500 تا توی مدت 1.5 سال و این رقم خیلی خیلی زیاده و خیلی خوشحالم که توی کارم به یه همچین سطحی رسیدم. با اینکه میبینید ویوها خیلی پایینه ولی خب سعی میکنم اون اشتیاق و انگیزه رو توی خودم حفظ بکنم و کارو ادامه بدیم. دمتون گرم. تقریبا هم به 2000 نفر رسیدیم و کلی کانتنت خفن دارم واسه آینده. حمایت بکنید که بریم جلو. مرسی از حمایتاتون، نظرات خیلی خوبتون. پسر ویدئو رو نگاه کن، هر چقدر بری پایین هست، هر چقدر بری پایین باز هم ویدئو هست. نگاه کن، یا خدا. ولش کن، برگردیم بالا و کلی خاطره داریم اینجا. 500 تا ویدیو بچه کم نیست. برای هر یه دونه اینا من کلی وقت گذاشتم و میرسیم به رچت. در حال حاضر دارم دل و روده رچت رو واسهتون میکشم بیرون. خیلی دوستتون دارم. امیدوارم هر جا که هستین روز و شب خیلی خفنی داشته باشید. خیلی زود دوباره میبینمتون. فعلا گود بای. See you.